In our Expert on Maine series, 6 Feet Away, this podcast covers the specifics of green burial or natural burial for those environmentally conscious people who want to respect the environment, even with their last wishes. Randy Nash, the youngest president of the Tennessee Funeral Directors Association and owner of Sumner Funeral and Cremation in Gallatin, Tennessee, is no stranger to, well, let's put it bluntly, strange questions when it comes to burial ceremonies and practices. He also stays informed on the ever-changing state and federal requirements, not only for COVID-19, but for guidelines on non-traditional burials. In other podcasts, we have discussed traditional funerals, cremation, and there are also hybrids of the two.
You can combine those two in a way. And so I think that's making sure that people are educated and know their options. It's just another thing that we do as far as making sure people know what's out there for them.
I saw an ad for, it was a green burial where you become part of a tree. You're like a little pod and you become a tree. That if someone wants something a little, and I call it a little woo-woo, but it's something different like that, hey, woo-woo, it's like a little out there, a little different. Become one with the earth. Have you had people ask you about some of those where you become part of the nature, the no embalming or those kind of funerals?
We have done some people call it green burial. I like to use the term natural burial. There is a natural burial cemetery here in Sumner County in Westmoreland. It's called Larkspur Conservation. It's in an area called Taylor Hollow. It's a nature preserve. And we actually have, so Sunday I have a burial there. Larkspur Conservation it's a nonprofit. The land was donated to them from a family, and it's a beautiful piece of property. It's just a really pretty place, and it's not anything what you would ever think of a cemetery being. If you take a commercial cemetery or a public cemetery you've seen in Nashville or wherever, I'm not going to single anybody out. It's not anything like that. And so if it's something people are interested in, they can definitely call me. And we can give them a tour of Larkspur, because it is a beautiful place. And it's actually it's a like I said, it's a nature preserve, so it's open to the public anytime. So people can hike there and go through there. But there are people buried there, so that is an option. And natural burial is an effort to return the body to the earth and to use as few man-made things as possible. So generally it's an all-wood construction casket that doesn't have any glue or screws or anything metal or anything like that in it. In this case, like the gentleman we're going to bury up there, he's going to be wrapped in a shroud. So he's going to be wrapped in a cloth and placed into the grave. And then, of course, the grave will be filled back after that. It's really a neat service. If you look at our Facebook page, there's a couple pictures of it on there. I think I have a couple pictures on our Instagram page. Or my personal Instagram, I think, has a couple pictures on there of it. But one of the last ones we did, the family allowed us to take some pictures. And the family this Sunday we're going to have some pictures of that too. So it gives people an idea of what they can do. And you can also look at Larkspur Conservation's website. It's larkspurconservation.org. And they have some really good pictures on there of what they offer and what they have there. And the gentleman that's the director of that is a good friend of mine, John Pfeiffer. They've really done a great job with what they're doing there, and we're proud to partner with them.
Whether it's connecting you to Larkspur Conservation at Taylor Hollow, by the way, you can find links to that in the notes to this podcast, or whether you just want to create memory jewelry pieces for each family member. Maybe you need to know about funeral etiquette, even how to write a eulogy. Sumner Funeral and Cremation steps in where it can become very confusing and very costly very fast. And they help you make the right choices for you and for your family. Whether it's pre-planning so your kids aren't left with a financial burden or details, or whether it's for you because you have no one to make those decisions. There are no embarrassing questions. There are no dumb questions. There's no questions that are unanswerable. There are only compassionate answers. Randy Nash can be found through sumnerfuneral.com or by calling 615-452-9059. For Main Street Media, I'm Devin O'Day.